So first, I want to ask you the question that everybody wants to know: why do they call you Tex?
In Miami, everyone seems to have a nickname. And so I moved there in 11th grade from Houston, from actually Katy, Texas. And just because I came from Texas, there was a guy named Mike Alvarez, big football player, who first day of me being at Coral Park said, "Your name is Tex." And that was it. It just stuck.
So as a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame voting and covering Barry Bonds through his career, do you think he should be in the Hall of Fame?
I'm on the record. I have never voted for Barry Bonds for the Hall of Fame. He's been on the ballot 8 times. And the reason I don't is the same reason I don't vote for anybody else who's been affiliated with performance-enhancing drugs. I do not believe that you belong in the Hall of Fame if you used PEDs, and that's just my personal belief. There's over 400 people that vote for the Hall of Fame. You know, if you're on 75% of the ballots, you get in. There are certainly people who have gotten in the last few years that I strongly believe have used PEDs, and I'm not the only one. Many people believe they have used PEDs. So I can't control who goes in and not. I can just control my vote. And Bonds has testified that he did use PEDs. He said he didn't know what they were, but once you use them, for me, you're out.
So do you believe that many other players do it, like in football or in basketball, and they just hide it, or teams hide it, or it's just
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't vote for those other sports for the Hall of Fame. Certainly we see in football there are players constantly being suspended for use, so we know that it's happening. The same thing is happening in baseball. Baseball players have been suspended over the years, including this past season, for using PEDs. So we know it's happening. The ones that get caught are the ones that get caught. There's probably many more that do not get caught. So yeah, I do believe it's still going on.
So after broadcasting 15 World Series, what's the best game you've broadcasted in the postseason?
Man, oh man. You know what? The 1999 All-Star game at Fenway Park still remains one of my favorites, and that's because Ted Williams was on the field before the game with all the All-Stars. So for me, that carried a lot of weight on my end. The 2001 World Series, where the D-backs beat the Yankees in 7 games, that also remains high on my list because of the drama, especially the 3 games in New York, which was only a few weeks after 9/11 happened, and all of the emotions that were taking place in New York City at the time made it, it elevated it for me to a higher level.
So being from Houston and having the Astros have the scandal with the cheating scandal that they had last year, what do you believe that they earned? And do you believe that the managers should have been suspended and they should have been fined this much money?
Yeah, look, the fine is, that's like taking $10 away from me, basically. A $5 million fine, I know that sounds like a lot, but I've been told that when you win a World Series, it's worth about $60 extra million to your franchise when it comes to sponsorships, ticket sales, sales of shirts, and anything else you can imagine. It amounts to about, excuse me, 60 mil. So when you take into account that they may have profited 60 mil off that World Series, to be fined $5 million is nothing. You know, everybody is to blame here. And I think that 2017 Astros World Series title will always be viewed differently than any other World Series title because they were found guilty of cheating.
Yeah, I mean, they always have an asterisk, and the Dodgers got what they deserved this year, having won the championship, and they've been there a couple of years before, and they couldn't get it.
Yeah, I mean, it won't be a physical asterisk, but it's certainly a mental one, and it's up to fans to decide how they view that.
Who's the best pitcher, and who's the best hitter you've ever seen?
The best player I've ever seen was Roberto Alomar. There was nothing he could not do on the field. His baseball instincts were beyond anybody I've ever seen in the game. I didn't get to see a guy like Mickey Mantle or Willie Mays play. I'm not that old to have seen them. I saw Willie Mays play, and I saw Mickey Mantle, but I was like 6 years old, 8 years old, so I couldn't really appreciate what I was watching. But Roberto Alomar, without a doubt, is the greatest baseball player I have ever seen. Pitcher, man, there's been a lot of good ones. I would put Greg Maddux probably on my list, and the reason is that he didn't have the blow-it-by-you stuff. You know, he didn't have 98, 99 miles an hour in his pocket, but he knew how to pitch. And in the true definition of what a pitcher does, changes speeds, locates the ball, moves it all around the strike zone. I don't think there's been anybody like Greg Maddux that I've ever seen.